Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Laura at Hyperstamper. Today's antique junk journal is very cool. I've not done one like this actually. So this is the first. It is a country life junk journal. This here, the frame is not vintage or antique, but the little words inside did come from a 1902 book called Country Life Reader. It's got some vintage crochet up and down and this beautiful original front here from my English countryside series from 1904. And I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful countryside scene. So I pulled some ribbons to match that, and let me take you on a little journey through this awesome junk journal before I put it in my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com. Okay, so right here, this is a gorgeous tatted antique doily here. I did acquire some tatting recently, and I just love this one. It's a very, very pretty little doily, so I turned it into a pocket. And this is the only vintage birthday card that I have that is a countryside. And it's a little birthday card, and look at how pretty that is. The purples. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful little countryside scene there. And you can actually open it up if you wanted to journal on the inside, you could, and on the back, or you can just enjoy it because it's absolutely magnificent. So that's that very special piece. These came from an early 1900s word game, and I used crop and road. So crops because out in the country, a lot of people do grow crops, and the road because of a country road. This here is from the 1920s, and that is a beautiful, Finding Ireland is the book. I love it. Look at that. And on the other side is some artwork here. We've got Whistler and Mother of Lord Chancellor. And then this is a beautiful harvest piece here from the early 1900s as well. This is from 1927. Because out in the countryside, you'll see buggies and horses and carriages. Look at the saddles. Isn't that great? I love it. So it's a little delicate, but I think it's a great piece for this theme. And then here is, of course, you have a dairy farm receipt because we have dairy farms out in the country as well. And then this pocket is made from an early 1900s book as well. It's got a beautiful little seaside countryside scene there. And this is a beautiful little vintage book page. It's got a farm here, beautiful landscape on the countryside. And then these two little boys here running up to a house out in the country. And I added antique paper front and back for extra journaling space. And then this here is from the same 1904 series, the English countryside series. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? From Calais. And this is also from the early 1900s. It was a whole book about strawberry growing. It was a book for farmers. And this is a strawberry crop here, the Americus, ever-bearing strawberry. I love it. Now here is probably the coolest thing in here. This is from 1899, and it's, in camera, it's a stereoscope, so it was like the original Viewmaster. And this one says, "Where is your fortune, my pretty maid?" It's their idea of humor back in the 1800s. And then this was a book cover. So I turned that into a journaling card, little goat there. And then we've got another country road down here, little family chasing a pancake. Pumpkins and harvested apples and, onions and cucumbers, sorry, look like apples. And here is some countryside animals and forest animals that you would find here. And then this I really like. This is a vintage Women's Day cookbook, and I just love the colors. And that one is also on apples. Isn't that great? You can actually use those recipes. They're really quite awesome. And look at that beautiful pink color. It's not often I can find anything vintage with that beautiful pink. This here is from a beautiful early 1900s book as well. Look at that beautiful plate there. Little girl sitting on a log out almost in the forest. And then here I have a jute card, and that is quite old, vintage and vegetables because of the farms out in the country. And then these are some pressed flowers from the countryside fields and meadows. And then this is another farm. It says the fair. They're getting ready to go to the country fair. And there's a country store. Isn't that great? I love it so much. Okay, lots of space to journal on and add your own things here. Another sort of horse and cart thing. Here is another little countryside village here, and I added my cutoffs to the inside so that you can enjoy some more journaling there. And this pocket here is from an antique book. Oopsie, sorry. Early days. I love that. And then there is another antique book page. Cows out in the pasture. Look at this beautiful plate here. It's actually 1911. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at that cute little boy. And again, you've got that beautiful country background out there. And then this here is really neat. Look at this. Feeding time on the farm. There's Grandma helping the little girl feed the chicks. And there's another antique early night. That actually might be 1800s. Fresh Pastures. And 1938 Flinch card. I put them in all my journals. And here's another early edition book page here. Country Life Reader from the, that's where I got the title on the front cover there in the little frame. We've got a farmer here and some yellow rod here. I love it. More farm there, and every country journal should have country songs. So we have cowboy songs here. I know that's reaching it, but I like it. It works. So just a really fun 1950s country music page there. A nice country scene here, and this looks to me like a forest out in the country. So we've got some really cool vintage botanicals there. Early 1900s here again, the Brook Song, beautiful little poem song there. And then this is Trees of America. And again, we've got some beautiful out in the country scenes there. This is from the early 1900s here, Lunch in the Woods. And then back here, look at this. This is one of my favorite pieces in the book. I didn't put anything on the back because I didn't know what the owner of the journal would want to do with it. So I didn't glue anything on it or in it. So yeah, look at that cute little boy sitting on the fence with his straw and his straw hat. Like, it just reeks of country. It's so fantastic. There we go, put that back in there. And then look at the country road here with all the mailboxes, more here, the cart with the hay in it. And there's another farmer field, plowing his field with the horse and plow. More chickens, little story on the back. And there's a great little barn. Sorry, I keep going out of camera. Apologies. Another wonderful little piece there. Oh, we see lots of fences out in the country in these earlier depictions of country. And look at this beautiful plate here from a vintage book. Antique paper on the back. That's just some vintage pattern paper there. Lots of lace. Oh, this is really pretty. I love this one. Isn't that gorgeous? It's from a book that's actually called The Countryside Garden. And I love it. Look at that. You just can't get any better than that. It's beautiful. And there's a little boy out there in the country with his little dog. And look at this one. Look at the hay on that horse and buggy. Wow. I love that picture. It's very delicate. So I'm just going to slip it in there. And then in here, in this 1890s pocket here, I've put some American stamps and some Canadian stamps for my US friends and for my Canadian friends. There we go. And those are antique. And more, look at that beautiful countryside there. Isn't that great? Classic. Another countryside picture here and here. And this here is from the 1890s. Look at this. The mom and little girl there feeding the little chicks. It's beautiful. I love the sepia tones that it's received over the years of wear. There's another farm picture from the 30s. Another little countryside there. I put some Canadian birch bark down here, which I love. And this is from 1913. Just a really pretty little keyhole image there. And another countryside. That one's in Yorkshire. And another farm picture from the 30s. A little booklet here, vintage. Lots of little botanicals, because we see so many wildflowers out in the country as well. And I love this pocket here. That is 1940s. And here's another one from that same book, The English Countryside Garden. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And here's a lassie page out on the country road there. Another beautiful countryside in Northumberland. One here. Farm neighbors. And that brings us to the end. So I hope you love this as much as I loved making it. Please don't forget to subscribe and come back soon. Bye for now.